Welcome home. Come with me.
So you send a message, as I've said, 055 or plus 233 55 Thanks so much to all of our friends who are joining us via Joy997FM on YouTube. So discussing the issues today will be Osei Osubempa, a senior football analyst, and also Coach Osman Saidu, who's the vice chairman of the Greater Accra Coaches Association, who's been regular in recent times for football reasons. And of course, one player who has played under Coach Milo van Rijvaak. I'm talking about the man who donned the number 4 jersey some time back for the Black Stars. Would normally like to fold one side of his sleeves up, especially if it's long sleeve jerseys. Played for Fulham, West Ham, played in Israel, played here in Ghana as well. John Pencil, one of the highest capped players of the Black Stars who played under Coach Milo van Rijvaak, will be joining us as well with his thoughts. So once again, your message should start with Dear Milo. It's as simple as that. Tell me what you want the Black Stars coach to do as we go. It may be slightly different from what the FA has put across. Welcome to the Joy Sports Link. My name is Nathaniel Atto. And so we'll just go to a few moments of that much followed news conference that we brought you live on the Joy News and Joy Prime channels.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Pa dobro, nekako u ovo vreme sam došao je prvi put kad je Ghana odigrala 2 utakmice i bilo je jedna izgubljena, jedna dobijena i bio je problem da li se može otići dalje. Evo i sad isto 2 utakmice su odigrane, imamo 3 boda i imamo dosta toga treba da se uradi da bi ostvarili naš cilj, ali nadam se zajedno da ćemo to uraditi.
Of course, last time when I was here, it was a similar situation. The qualification campaign was already started, and it was a big question whether Ghana can achieve qualification or not. Luckily for all of us, we all put our whole efforts, and we had immense support from all sides, and we proved, the players and everybody proved that it was quite achievable. And this is the same situation. We know that there is a big task ahead of us, but we are up to the task. We know what has to be done, and with all of your support, if we put our best effort, I think it's quite possible to achieve our targets.
Coach Milo van Rijvaak there, asking for massive support through his interpreter, Nish. That's what we call him, Nonad Glisish, here. And of course, he will earn his salary from Coach Milo van Rijvaak. It doesn't come at any extra cost to the Ghana Football Association. No agency, and of course, if the FA the coach walks away from this within the contract period, he'd have to pay a compensation to the Ghana FA. A good bargain or otherwise. You send a message and most importantly, tell us what you want to see, Coach Milo van Rijvaak do. Away from all of the other targets that have been set for him by the Ghana Football Association, his employers. So welcome to the show. We sure are going to have a wonderful time discussing the issues here. It sure has been a great subject of interest for everybody, every single person, because obviously after the exit of Coach C.K. Akono, there was a lot of interest shown in who would come. There was, a lot in terms of proposals as to who will be the best man to take this. Well, before we get into the conversations here in studio, let's take a listen to you out there. Of course, we're expecting some more of the messages to come in, but let's, take your thoughts. Let's, take your thoughts on what you also think and feel about this decision that has been made.
Ghana penifo de o dream one won't ask you. Ani pa oba ya onu mu ya o dwani jaye ne masa kofa no de ya yesi kasa be ma no. Na yempe we penifo no omunim hu bi because kana obeje na obe mo bi. Enti na o masa kofa no. But say and de Ghana fo de ye be pam no. What is penifo na de.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Stadium ho coach ya na ya be fan free park ne so.
Oh, I think like he's going to help us because he's done some 1 or 2 with us when he was here in like what's the name 2010, right? Yeah. So I think he's going to help us this time around. Yeah.
Milo no kakra metimaka fa na was a fat. Time I buy no dey oyade na performance is good. But all kon wan fa mu ebu amagana for. Ye na ebu ano che omo dey have you omo CV. Omo ye ne ye wi na omo je ho. Ekwan of fa so koye no. We muye enti wono kra de ni kwan se kono no mkokofa no na ya bi before no problem ya ho ade bi ya mpe ho ya fi se bibini ntimi enya ade me enti se ya fi fo no su saade a ko mo mpe fo no so wo mfiri ono ye mfa mrofo no mewuru football ni ehunu se ebekoye so na Milo ne tates ne performance dey good but wo mu ade enti ka wase yeso ya kire ne se wo mu ye a ye buye ho ti so ma sa akwa na asad na ba obeye ye se bi mu aya na ye pe no de aye yo kakra mekano no
Milovan it's good because it take Ghana go to World Cup 2010, right? Yeah, so as for me it's good. It's good.
For me, dear, I can say I think last previous tournament he was good, but I think it's time for us to give the team to a Ghanaian coach so that we can really make the team well.
Well, those are some thoughts that we got from some fans. Those two who were speaking to you were talking about how unhappy they are about how Milovan Rajvac left Ghana after his performance at the FIFA World Cup. He left us at a time when we probably needed him a great deal. Well, so those are the varied thoughts. There are those who are happy with it. There are those who are not happy. But the decision has been made, and he has to start work. What do you also think? 055 11 11 997. 055 11 11 997 here at the Joy Sports Link.
And the fact that a coach will lose a job doesn't make him a bad coach. I mean, Rafa Benitez went to China. He's back in Everton. Is that not correct? Yes. So it doesn't mean for Ghana, the best coach ever to have coached our country that I remember is this man who's on my left. Okay, he took us to the apex of world football. Everybody in Ghana respect him. The players respect him. So for us, it was just simple to say that we want Milo. And we are glad that Milo also agreed to be with us.
High grade, and the African dancehall king. JMJ with a missile rhythm. About to put the pieces to the puzzle. And if a fool try, he might get beaten with a muscle. Let's go! Dancehall get active. I want me to get interactive. Tell you what we preach, we practice. No say veteran, I want with tactics. Yeah, let me tell you what the fact is. You can't take me down in no conflict. You think so you bad, you know bad like me.
To be able to achieve. Now that we have a new team in place, please, let's start thinking positive. Let's start thinking it can be done. Let's stop doubting the process. The new journey starts from today. Let's show positive energy towards the team. Ohene, I'm talking to you, Brenya. It's you I'm talking to. I hope you listened. I took you by surprise. Let's be positive towards our Black Stars. It's all that we have. Let's not be quick in spinning out negative stories because we think we have exclusives. Now in Ghana, everything is breaking news. Please, let's be supportive of our national team. If we do well, and if we qualify to the Mundial, all of us will enjoy from the multiple benefits that the Mundial comes with. Because I know everybody here wants to be in Qatar. That's why we have to change the language. Positive energy. Let's try to believe that it can be done. Whatever has happened yesterday is gone.
With him thinking nothing, he want try man. Go back to school and learn, cause you know say them style can't sell in a Thailand. Suwane, say the money dance all king. Suwane, with them flip and them flop sing. Suwane, with them yip and them yap sing. Suwane, come let me kill them with the rhyme, kill them with the vibes. At the end, you want you the echo, the expression, the funny over.
Okay, so you heard the FA president there, and that last soundbite you heard was just an assumption of office when he was rallying support for the Black Stars. No negative stories is the charge given to the, 055-111-997. Gets ready and good to go. Coach Osman Saidu, Osei Owusu-Bempah, and ex-Ghana international John Pencil, who will be joining us much later here on the show. Welcome to the Joy Sports Link. This is your show, and that's the reason why you also have to be a part of the conversations here today as we tow yet another new path with a man who's been there and seen it before with the Black Stars. Milovan Rajavac, as he continues his work with the Black Stars, with ex-Ghana international Otto Addo and Maxwell Kunedu, as well as Richard Kingston and his backroom staff. How's it gonna go? You let me know what you think. Here with us on the Joy Sports Link on Joy997 FM. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and today, like I mentioned, we are just getting into the conversation about Milovan Rajavac and the new path that he's towing with the Black Stars. Here with me in studio is Coach Osman Saidu. He is the Vice Chairman of the Greater Accra Coaches Association and a football scout, has been following the issues and has a lot to share regarding Coach Milovan Rajavac and his backroom staff as well. Joining us virtually as well will be Osei Owusu-Bempah, a senior football analyst, and also ex-Ghana international John Pencil, who's now a coach. He played under Coach Milovan Rajavac, and he will be telling us what the positives will be in this second stint with the Serbian trainer. Coach, thank you very much for your time. It's been a while. We haven't been together like this in a while.
Really, thank you so much for having me today.
Coach, so the news conference finally came off. The FA clarified what they had to clarify. But for you, what is most striking about this story of the return of, Milovan Rajavac?
Nat, thank you very much. It's a difficult thing to be a leader, more so to be a leader of a football association, because research is indicating that one of the things that people are so passionate about in this world is religion. However, football is trying to overtake religion. More difficult when you are a leader of football in Ghana, where everybody is a coach. So I want to appreciate that and respect the decision that the GFA took so far as the coach is concerned. But I would like to call this decision nostalgic or sentimental. And whether or not that would solve our current problem is another thing for a huge discussion. However, let us look at where Milo started. Milo, for the past 11 years, was the coach of Ghana. He came to Ghana in 2008 and left in 2010. Do you know that Milo left in September and he's back in September? So I want to name this September to September. Now, he left Ghana in September 2010 and he went to El Ahi. And then from there he went to Qatar in 2011. 2016 he was in Roda, and then the same 16 he was in Algeria, and then Thailand, where he was fired after Thailand lost their match 4-1 against India. Now, the issue really is not about a coach being fired or a coach being at home. I've listened to a lot of arguments indicating that you have to be active. We have good coaches who are really at home. If you give them the opportunity, they would be able to provide the needed solution you want. Now, if we do a critical analysis of our choice, you could argue that we needed something to sort of solve the stopgap problem, because what we are doing, to me, is a firefighting approach. We are not really tackling the issue holistically. Now, this is the reason why I'm saying this. If you look at our new coach, he's played 28 matches for Ghana when he was here. His winning rate was around 32%, compared to Kwesi Appiah, who had around 40%. Now, my major problem is that as a country, we kind of think that our problem is the coaching aspect, or the ecosystem problem of Ghana football has to do with coaching. But really, I want to differ. It's not really coaching. Let me critically analyze the two assistant coaches, then we proceed.
Very well.
I strongly believe that it's good. The FA president is telling us that we have 2 Ghanaian assistant coaches, which we are all proud of. That's okay. But if you analyze them and digest their choice, I would beg to differ that the choice of Otto Addo is not the best we can give to ourselves. If the reason that we are if the choice of Milo is nostalgic and sentimental, then the choice of the assistant Otto Addo is not. Why am I saying this? I want to compare Otto Addo to Coach Ibrahim Tanko.
All right.
They both have UEFA license A. Ibrahim Tanko coached in Cologne. Otto Addo is with Dortmund. So they both have the same experience. Ibrahim Tanko was with the Cameroon national team. He went to World Cup with the Cameroon national team. He coached in Japan. And he came back to Ghana. He was the assistant coach of Black Star, job specific. He's tasted it before and he knows what it is. That is the reason we were given for Milo. Now, he's been the coach of the local Black Stars before. He was fired, or his appointment was terminated only 4 months ago. He was a coach of under 23, our under 23 team, national under 23. We all knew what happened when he was going to play his last tournament. I mean, it's not something we are proud about, but the organization was woefully inadequate. But he did his best. So if the reason given is that Milo knows the terrain, he's ate our food, he's drank our water, and he was wearing our clothes, then why didn't we do same to Ibrahim Tanko as the assistant coach? Because with the fact that I'm giving, I'm not being emotional. I'm not saying anything. I'm just comparing competency and qualification with the reason given for Milo. So to me, I think that the selection of Otto Addo is not the best because of the reasons that were given for selecting Milo. So maybe perhaps FA got that wrong. And I want to say again, it's not easy to be a leader. But one of the qualities of good leaders is that they are open for feedbacks. So all I'm doing is trying to give them a feedback that Ibrahim Tanko could have solved our problem better than Otto Addo. And if what I'm hearing is true, that Otto Addo is doing this on a part-time basis, he would only come when there is an assignment. I mean, totally, then it should not be the person who should be selected.
But hold on, Coach. So you have a structure where there are 2 assistant coaches. Are we not figuring out that probably there will be a system that will be put in place that will ensure that the man on the ground, as in, Maxwell Kunedu, will do a certain aspect of the monitoring and all of that, and the on-ground work from here and from maybe the sub-region or the African continent, and Otto Addo could focus on what is happening in Europe as well. They could draw a structure that can work.
This I see as a full-time job.
Okay.
And not something that you want to give condition before you do. More so when we have somebody who is available to do it on full-time basis. So we have no reason, honestly, objectively. I mean, you could analyze it the way you want, but we have no reason selecting Otto Addo over Coach Ibrahim Addo and Coach Ibrahim Tanko. That one is not arguable, and these are facts that I've laid down. So if anybody has any other issue and want to counter this, let's bring it on board. Beyond that, I also want to believe that we are paying the new coach Milo, our new coach now, Milo, we pay him $30,000 a month. But it is important to also add that is a net and not gross.
Gross,
so
exactly.
We pay him $30,000 after deducting all the tax that we have. We're going to give him $100,000 as a signing on fee. I think it's very cheap, and to me that's why I question. If you go to the highest paid in Africa now is around $89,000. So why are we settling?
But coach, we cannot afford $89,000 for a coach of the Black Stars. That is established, and that's the reason why we're here.
I don't disagree with you. So if we do not have money, we would have to, do something within our budget. So for instance...
And that's what has been done, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not motivating for a coach like Milo.
Okay.
It's not a new thing for him. He's not hungry for glory. He's seen it all. So for him, it's everyday business with $30,000. You are not pushing him. You are not giving him any reason to go extra. He goes through this contract every month with $30,000 without even performance. He will still do it.
Coach,
for
you do not think that Milovan has an inner desire and a burning one of that to win a Nations Cup that he almost won with the Black Stars, and to improve his performance at the FIFA World Cup, something that he did and probably even set a record?
So that's where I really want to talk about. I just want us to compare his first coming, like that was from 2008 to 2010 to now 2021. The conditions are totally different. The kind of players Milo used in 2010, 2008 to 2010 are Michael Essien, Sule Mutari, Stephen Appiah, Derek Boateng. Look at the quality of players he had. And now that's where I have a problem as a Ghanaian. That we are all failing to identify our problems when it comes to Black Stars. Our major problem is that we failed to plan for transition. So when Sule Mutari were at their peak, were enjoying what they were doing without thinking about what to do when they can't play anymore. That's why we are in this position. And the most alarming or disturbing thing is that we are repeating the same mistakes. It means that 2, 3, 4, 5 years to come, we'll be at the same position. The real problem is that we do not have the same quality we had in 2010. So what do we expect Milo to do? I see that Milo is a coach, but he's been hired to be a magician. Meanwhile, he's a coach. Performance do not happen in a vacuum. You have to prepare to get a very good performance. And as a country or a national team, if you are talking about preparation, then we are talking about preparation from U15. And then follow the transition from U15, 17, 20, 23, and then they mature to Black Stars. If we don't do that, we'll be expecting magic to happen. Now, Nat, let me give you a typical example. Accra Lions started their Division 1 league without the aim of qualifying to the Premiership. You know what they did? They worked on their performance, and their performance qualified them to the Premiership. We had a lot of teams in Division 1 who wanted to qualify, but they did not work on their performance, so they could not qualify. And that is the situation I'm saying I find Ghana in. There is little any good coach can do to the Ghana team. What we need to do is to take the example of South Africa. look at the women team, the national women team of South Africa. They won their match against Nigeria in the just ended
Aisha
Buhari's Cup. What did they do? They employed a coach. They gave him a 5-year strategic plan. Currently, do you know that South Africa's national team coach, the men national team coach, has been given a 5-year contract to really ensure that they qualify to the next World Cup and they do this to the next what? But we in Ghana are still given 1-year contract, and after 1 year, we get another person to another 1 year. Look, the problem is not the output. The problem is the inputs. And until we get to the basis of the problem and solve the fundamental problem, which has to do with our systems and organizations, so far as football is concerned, we will not be going forward.
Well, these are the thoughts here in the studio, and I know that you also have yours. The reason why you have to join them with them as we take a look at the situation with the new Black Stars coach and the new journey forward. Like I mentioned, if you're sending a message, just begin with Dear Milo. It's your brief letter of concern to the new, the newly appointed Black Stars coach. Coach Osman Seidu here in the studio is saying that Ghana has not failed to plan. Ghana has failed to plan, or the Black Stars team or the FA has failed to plan for the senior national football team when it comes to succession, and that's the reason why we're seeing the kinds of results we're seeing lately. Is that to say that you've already thrown your hands up in despair that we will not probably see the World Cup, will not make any major impact at the Nations Cup?
No. That's where we have to be patriotic. We have to be citizens and not spectators. The decision that they've made the decision already. So all we need to do now is to support Coach Milo to ensure that we are able to qualify at least to the World Cup. But it is important that we all accept the fact that this is a stopgap measure and is not our solution to a lot of problems that we have in this country. Once we identify that, yes, we have a problem and we're going to have a strategic plan for 4 or 5 years to come, like Ben Kofi did, and then we also have a short-term plan like this, then we'll be heading to a very good direction. However, I think that they've made the selection already, and as a Ghanaian, I would like to say that, yes, if we focus, work hard, and do the right thing in terms of having a criteria for even giving a call up to the Black Stars, and it should be open to everybody, that we are going to say that you cannot play Black Stars if you have not played this number of minutes in your league. So in Indonesia, you cannot play their premier team if you have not, as a foreigner, if you have not played your Premier League in your country for some number of hours. You cannot play their league, their prime league. You cannot. League, yeah. So let us have what is the criteria, so that there was an analysis, on air, I think it was done by Joy997FM, looking at the number of players we've called up for the Black Stars over whatever month, and the number of minutes they played. You could see that really there is no direction. And our major problem is that let us ensure that we have a direction in terms of our call-ups. That's where the problem starts. And let's make it public to everybody that we are calling you have to be this, meet this bar before you can be called up to play in the national team. That is the Black Stars. And also have some caveat, and then ensure that we have some number of our local league players in that team, because they are hungry. They would like to get more glory than the professionals. So let us look at how best we can blend them. But all in all, I think there is a lot of work for the technical directorate of Ghana Football Association to do, starting from the director himself, and then the director of coaching, and then as well to coaches. The good news is that the FA president was saying that they're going to have 15 elites. I want some explanation on the word elite that the FA president used. Elite in what? Elite in soccer, elite in education, elite in... So that he's saying we're going to have 15 elite coaches that will build their capacity. One of the things that we can do as a country to ensure that we progress is to have a structure to build our tactical or technical side of the game in the country. And these are the coaches. We've not been doing bad so far. We're just from our refresher course for license A. License B will come, license C will come. And we are even thinking about pro licenses as a country. I mean, it's a good thing, but we need to do more and be genuine and be open in some of our decisions.
Well, I'll be sharing some of the messages with you as we go along. I placed this message on my own social media handle, and I've received some very interesting, some very, very interesting, responses. Isaac Azar says, with all due respect, Coach Kunedu doesn't deserve this position. He almost took Legon Cities to relegation and has failed to adopt the modern era of football, and that's why a coach who once managed Brecum Chelsea said he was able to beat Maxwell Kunedu because he had an archaic system when he was at Kotoko. Well, these are your thoughts, okay? These are your very own thoughts. You send some more, and let's have this conversation. Remember, we're also streaming live on the Facebook page of Joy997FM and also on the Joy Sports page on Facebook. Join us. Just join us. Let's have this conversation together. We want to gauge your thoughts, and as much as we're giving you specialist opinions here in the studio, would want to really gauge your thoughts about the new journey that Milovan Rajvac wants to travel with the Black Stars. So Maxwell Kunedu and his choice as well. He's making a return as assistant coach.
Yeah, with the reasons that the FA gave for Milo, I think that Maxwell Kunedu then qualifies to be the assistant coach. Why am I saying that? Because he has the experience. He's been the assistant coach of Black Star before. He's worked with Milo before. Am I right? I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, but he has all the experience that he needs to. He's been the assistant coach before. He knows the terrain. He's been to African Cup. So for me, the reasons given for Milo qualifies Maxwell Kunedu to be the assistant coach, but not Otoado. It doesn't match.
Okay, let's get on the virtual stage now and speak to Mr. Osei Owusu-Bempah, who's a senior football analyst. He's got major thoughts when it comes to this subject as well. Thank you very much, my boss, for joining us. Can you unmute your microphone for us, please? Okay, now you could go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah. I couldn't get your first question. I think the sound.
Okay, all right. What are your initial thoughts on all of this? There have been varied thoughts about Coach Milovan Rajvac's return, but whether we like it or not, he's back in the saddle and he has to work.
He's welcome back. I mean, the decision is taken by the FA, and they have the power to decide who sits where, when, and how, and in what capacity the person does. So I wasn't surprised at all that he was the one that was immediately available when it became obvious that they were going to part ways with Akono. And so his return, mixed feelings. The dynamics are completely different. During his first tour of duty, the quality of materials that he worked with, both administrative and technical, as well as even the player material, are completely different from what we do have now. The FA in 2007, 2008 or so, when he came in, was stronger and more robust, more commanding, and had power to do a lot more things than the current FA does. The kind of players that he worked with, the Montaris, the Jans, Dede at his peak, John Mensahs, you can mention them, Matthew Amwa, Olele Kingston and co, were way better than the kind of players that we have right now. One thing that I also want to add is the fact that he is going to not enjoy the kind of massive national support that he did in his previous tour. Remember, at that time, tournaments such as the World Cup, the African Cup of Nations, were basically national events. These days, they seem to be more political party events. And therefore, at any point in time, given the fact that our nation is divided virtually down the middle in terms of our politics and ideologies, almost half of the population probably are not enthusiastic about the Black Stars as used to be about 10, 12, 15 years ago. So these are all the factors that are going to go strongly against him. And I think that I believe that coaches are important, but they are not the most decisive factor when it comes to football, in the determination of outcome of games. The group in which we are, the situation is not that dire. I don't think we are in such a situation that is so hopeless now. We've only played South Africa and lost to them away from home. They are our strongest, most competitive group opponents. And so losing against them in Johannesburg is virtually no news, except for the fact that the last couple of years we've had very good results against them, even when we play them away from home. But we have them to play in Ghana, whether Kumasi, Cape Coast, or Accra. We have Zimbabwe to play them away. They drew, remember, with Zimbabwe. Border battle between them and Zimbabwe, they drew away in Harare. It's possible Ghana can even away in Harare, and what comes out of it. So he's welcome, and I hope that he gets the support that he needs and be able to carry us through to where the FA want him to carry us to.
Very well. Now, away from the technical football talk, I've seen images of the lush green pitch at the Baba Yara Stadium. You know, the stands looking all colorful and ready to welcome the fans for football. Would you want to see the Black Stars return to the Kumasi Stadium to play their football? And for what reason?
Oh, of course not. I've relocated to Kumasi right now. I've been in Kumasi the last 1 year. I've been here since July last year. It's not because I'm based here. I've missed a lot of the Black Stars games. I wasn't in Ghana when the team qualified for the first 2 World Cups, for instance. I only came to see them participate in South Africa in 2010. But, traditionally, apart from major tournaments such as the African Cup of Nations that we hosted in 1963, 1978, and 2000, and of course 2008, in most of the qualification games, the Black Stars do quite well in Kumasi. If you remember, when we missed the AFCON of 1986, 1990, and 1986, 88, and 90, we qualified for Senegal 92 when we played all our games in Kumasi against Burkina Faso, Nigeria, Benin, and Togo. They were first World Cup, and I think the previous World Cup that Ghana secured ticket to play in were all played in Kumasi. And I'm sure there may probably be a bit of luck here for the Black Stars. I heard Stephen Appiah a couple of years ago say that they feel more relaxed when they arrive in Kumasi, and the supporters are very supportive. The fans are very supportive. And I remember, I think in 2000 and around 2000 thereabout, during the African Cup of Nations, there were, I don't know whether it was official, the CAF said that Kumasi Sports Stadium offers by far the most supportive atmosphere for fans and for football on the continent. And I'm not surprised. The place is quite spacious, can accommodate more people, and the place is very welcoming. When you are playing very well, it doesn't matter whether you are playing away from home, the fans will continue to support you. And even when you are playing at home and things are not going very well, they will be on their feet for you until the final whistle. So I'll be very happy to see them in Kumasi.
Mm-hmm. And
talk about... Also forget that Kumasi provides a central location for people from various corners of the country. For example, if somebody is in Tamale and he wants to come and watch the Black Stars in live games, I'm sure Kumasi provides more comfort in terms of affordability and also travel distance from Tamale, Wab, Gatanga, Hamley, or whatever it is. So the centrality of the location also counts a lot for, at least it brings a lot more people together than if it's played anywhere down south. But that does not mean that we cannot play in Accra, Cape Coast, or even Sekende or Tamale.
If you just joined us, this is the Joy Sports link on Joy997 FM and also on YouTube. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and here with me are Coach Osman Seidu, the Vice Chairman of the Greater Accra Coaches Association, a scout, and an analyst, and also senior football analyst Owusu Bempa, who's joining us virtually. Very shortly, John Painsel, who's an ex-Ghana international and a coach, will also be joining us from a distance, and he will be sharing thoughts on what the positives will be, because everyone, whether we like it or not from a Ghanaian perspective, would want to see what positives Milo could possibly bring at this time, considering all the current dynamics that Owusu Bempa has spoken about. Now, there's been talk about the technical team, what the look and feel of the technical team. There's a Richard Kingston who is making a return to the team as a goalkeeper's trainer. He played under Milo van Rijvaak, so understands his football philosophy as much as possible. There's an Otto Addo who went to the World Cup with Ghana, played for Ghana at 2006. And there is, Maxwell Kunedu, who's garnered great experience on the front of the Ghana Premier League and has also worked there as assistant coach of the Black Stars. The best possible set we can get?
I think I don't know whether the selection was done for the new coach by the FA or maybe he made a choice, or perhaps a list of submitted to him to choose from, and probably the reason why he picked those. But if you look at Richie Kingston, for example, he worked with this coach for about 4 to 5 years, 4 years or so during his first tour of duty as a coach of the Black Stars. He was his most reliable goalkeeper. Remember, before then, a lot of people were rooting for Sami Eje, who was also at his prime at the time, but for some reason, Milo went virtually in almost all his games with Richie Kingston. I understand that he's a very
all right. We will re-establish.
Very strong disciplinarian. He must have seen something Richie Kingston. We saw something respectful. Yeah. And I remember I respected him a lot during the African Cup of Nations 2010. When, as by far the most experienced player on by somebody, he was very, very comfortable with it. And that is one thing that because Kingston played for the Black Stars as far back as 1996, by which time some of the players were probably playing in primary school games. And for him to be able to mingle with the boys and what he did at the time, I think he has my respect. And I'm sure it's some of the reasons why maybe the coach must have fallen on him. But let me also say that the issue of the Black Stars goalkeepers trainer that sometimes people make noise about. I heard last time when Rich Tofori played, there were people who were making all sort of comments, negative ones, of course, against the goalkeepers trainer. How many hours training, hours in terms of time does the goalkeepers trainer have with the Black Stars goalkeeper? Especially when the goalkeepers are virtually playing away from Ghana. He comes for 2-3 days. They have only 2 or 3 training sessions. Combined will not be more than 6 hours. So 99.9%, the goalkeepers come in with their forms and not the way the goalkeepers trainers do. Maybe some form of psychology and stuff from the goalkeepers trainer will do, but I don't think that is going to be a very decisive factor. If we are very good goalkeepers, I don't think the issue of trainers will even matter. I don't remember as a football historian when the concept of goalkeepers trainer was even introduced in African football. I don't remember Joka as a trainer. They do their own training, Sam Ampe, Sam Supe, Joe Kai and Co. I don't remember whether they had goalkeepers trainers. Maybe you can find out them, but those are just modern concepts. And I think that when the goalkeepers are themselves talented and ready to work, they will work. So basically, just to narrow down to your question, I think the coach probably didn't want to take any risk. Maxwell has been there. He left the team just about a year or 2 ago. Richie Kingston has been in and out. And so Otuado brings in some European discipline and organization. And I'm sure it's the reason why I believe that at least for now, there will be the best materials available for him to help him do and execute the job that he's been asked to execute.
So if I get everything you are putting together, then it is indicating that the World Cup qualification is not looking so bad. We can squeeze through. And then there will be the Africa Cup of Nations to also focus on. They've dangled a big incentive offer. The FA has dangled a big incentive offer before the Black Stars coach. $300,000 if you win it. And this is not the first time we're doing this. I remember very well that his compatriot Ratomir Djukovic earned $350,000 for qualifying the Black Stars to the World Cup in 2006 in Germany.
Yes, let me just repeat. Yet to affirm what you just said. Yes, I believe that the situation is not dire at all. It's not out of hands. We've lost a game, and in competition of this nature, where you are playing home and away with 3 other teams, you make provision for at least some form of games. You make provision against South Africa in Johannesburg, losing 1-0. I know we play quite badly, but regardless what the play standard was, the point is that we lost just a game away. We've only played games. We have 4 more to play, and within these 4 games, we have our strongest opponents, South Africa, to play at home. I don't remember the last time any Ghanaian team lost to the Black Stars lost to any African team on home soil. And I'm sure, regardless how badly we probably may play against South Africa, those points I can be very sure that it will be guaranteed. It's not because we have Milo. Even under CK, I will bet my last person that we beat South Africa at home. In Zimbabwe, we can beat Zimbabwe, of course, at home. If you can beat South Africa at home, I believe in that Zimbabwe also fall up. Now we have to do the issue of having to deal with Zimbabwe in Harare and also with Ethiopia in Addis. And these are not games that are beyond the capacity of the Black Stars. It doesn't matter who the coach is. If the boys are so focused and they really know exactly what is it that they want to do. In a group like this, I don't think Ghana needs to panic at all. In 1992, we played qualifying group with Zimbabwe, with Nigeria. We came on top of the group. We drew with them in Lagos after beating them 1-0 in Kumasi. We won almost every game apart from the game in Togo, the game in Burkina Faso of the 5. So it's not something which is beyond us. We've drawn and beaten teams like DR Congo away. We've beaten South Africa away. Why is it that we cannot beat Ethiopia and Zimbabwe away from home? We can. And then talk about the issue of incentives. I'm not so sure whether the qualification bonus of the 300,000 or so is a zero sum. In other words, if they don't qualify, he does not get anything at all. And then, or if he qualifies, he gets everything. I don't know whether it's the same thing that also applies to the Cup of Nations. And that even if you go to a Nations Cup and lose on a penalty by a lone goal, you don't get a dime out of the $300,000. But if you win, by whatever means, you get the 300,000. But to me, I don't necessarily believe that when it comes to payment of salaries and allowances, it has anything to do with competencies. For example, C.K. Akono was fired from Hasselhoff, Ashgold and Asante Kotoko before he was appointed at the Black Stars. Between the time, he never had any professional development course, as far as I'm aware, that he's going for refresher or whatever it is. And then suddenly, when he was earning, I think between the 3 clubs that he put, Kotoko has and Ashgold, I think his highest salary was at Kotoko. And the time was about $3,000 or so a month. Then suddenly he goes to sit at home for almost a year. And then he's appointed Black Stars coach and given over $20,000. And you would think that just by giving him $20,000, the guy has anything different from what he put up at Kotoko House and to be able to give us the results. I mean, that was quite absurd. So money necessarily does not always amount to people giving off their best, or sometimes if they have nothing to offer, you can offer them all the money at the Bank of Ghana. They cannot give you the results. And so I believe that with Milo, that's why we've been made to believe that the last time he left Ghana, because the money he was receiving, he had a better offer somewhere soon after the World Cup in 2000. The reason why he left. So maybe they think that maybe by giving something bigger or something more appreciable by our standards and by his own expectation, he'll be able to get us there. But I think, I don't think the money is the issue.
Can we just quickly go over this matter and seek your opinion? Let me begin with you.
His biggest challenge is going to be the materials. Simple.
Okay. I see. Let's talk about that. I mean, because we've heard a few football fans, respondents to our Vox Pop talk about that. That he left us because of money. But human beings grow, and if it was not Ghana, it would have been another country that he would have used to, develop his CV, and it would have improved his quality and his CV anyway, and he would have been better appreciated on the market. So, did he commit such a big crime by considering money after, featuring at the World Cup with Ghana? Coach Osman?
Not really. Like you rightly indicated, we are all working for a purpose. I mean, either for passion and also to get some benefit. So not really. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. However, yesterday a question was posed to him to give a reason why he left Ghana in 2010 September. And the response was absolutely different from the intended question. However, to me, what matters is he's back again, and still he's not having what he's supposed to have. Because I see 30,000 to be very cheap with the kind of achievement the coach like Milo have. I see it to be cheap. So then I ask myself, why did he leave in the first place? Because if really he left because of money, he's still not getting the money he's supposed to get, and he's back again. So that's kind of, I want to question that really the intention of leaving and why he's back again.
Let me ask this of you, or say, can you tell me what you think about possibly standardizing the terms and conditions of the Black Stars coach?
I think it will be, but sometimes you also have to look at it from the point of view of cross-border competitions.
Okay.
If you think that your bottom line or your ceiling is, let's say, $50,000 for a coach, and you think that at a certain point in time, $50,000 probably cannot offer you one of the best coaches that you probably want. You need to up your game. And so, just as you are offering something that you think is your limit, somebody's minimum probably could be more than twice your maximum. And therefore, is the reason why you need to look at the dynamics and then make decisions appropriately. The last time, just to maybe respond to what Osman said, I'm sure Milo left at the time because there were better offers elsewhere. I'm sure by this time, maybe the last couple of years, because in the post-immediate departure, after 2010 when he left, he has probably not been able to make any impact with any team like he did of Ghana. His value has gone down. Is the reason why he will come back to Ghana, maybe one, to be able to get something better, knowing the fact that with Ghana, maybe even with the minimum quality of players, we'll be able to get something done and then try to rebuild his CV. He's 67 years old, and chances are that he may not be able to land the multi-million-dollar Arabia and Gulf money that he did when he left Ghana. So it's the reason why his expectations and stuff are coming down, and the reason why he was ready to accept what he's accepting right now.
Well, if you just joined us, this is the Joy Sports Link on Joy997 FM. Osei Osubempa is a football historian and senior analyst. And also, Coach Osman Seidu is a scout and the vice chair of the Greater Accra Coaches Association, taking a look at the man, Milo van Rijvac. So you just add Dear Milo and start it all off. And tell me what you want to see him do. Okay, so it's been established. We're not looking so bad. It can be turned around pretty easily. I'm talking about the World Cup campaign. But before I go to my next question, you wanted to make an intervention.
Yes, I wanted to ask my senior journalist and you, perhaps you yourself, that we know that the senior coach is getting 30,000 nets home, but we didn't hear anything about what the assistant coaches are getting. And to me, it's a matter of worry because we need to know what they are paying them. And once we've been able to make that of the coach public, then we should make theirs too as well. I don't know his opinion.
Well, I would have you take that. But I also think that this is something that it's an unconscious thing that has gone on over the years. I mean, everybody's attention is on the main man, and for some reason, nobody really focuses on, what the assistants are also going away with.
Yeah, that's quite interesting, especially when the assistants are one of our own, in other words, they are locals. And there are times that we've heard that the head coaches have been paid if they are foreigners, but the assistant coaches have not been paid. And it happens over and over and over. It boils down sometimes to also self-confidence and the manner of appointment. Yesterday, Nana Jima made a point here, which I strongly supported, that our local coaches sometimes don't have, and many times, I would say many times, in the aftermath of the exit of the last generation of great coaches, Atukwefiu, Samade, Nana Frani and co. Most of our young modern coaches, I'm saying young and modern coaches because these are coaches that I saw play. They are coaches that most of whom I saw even play from as low as the Black Stars. Now they are head coaches of various clubs. They don't have the confidence sometimes to even apply for positions. And therefore, when they are called or invited and handed such positions, sometimes they find it difficult even to demand and ask for something that is legally and legitimately due them. It's the reason why some of these questions that Coach Osman just asked will come in. That if you announce the coach of the salary and the terms and conditions of the coach, at least we can infer that all the other conditions apply to the assistant coaches in terms of disciplinary issues and not dealing with agents and stuff apply equally to them. But I think it would be fair if we could also hear something about their remuneration. How much bonuses do they get if the team wins? Understand Milo's previous stint of the Black Stars, he was earning twice the winning bonus of the players. How much are the assistant coaches earning? And all these things are the issues that I think that need to be addressed. And I think Coach Osman, that's a good reminder. Maybe the FA forgot, and probably Henry and co will be able to enlighten us more on this. It's very important that we hear some of these things as well.
Well, there's a message from Inko Joseph, and he says we actually need to have a criteria for selection of players into the Black Stars team. Thank you very much, Inko Joseph, for your message. This is something that has been said over and over again, and we'll see what will happen this time around. But of course, there is something that we all need to take note of, that the man Milovan Rajevac is a very, very tough man when it comes to decision making and all of that. And there are a few quotes that you can find on our Joy Sports handles from yesterday's news conference. One of them from Milovan Rajevac says, "I was not desperate for the Ghana job. Ghana is my second home, and I was happy to get the opportunity to work in Ghana." Okay, we'll get on the phone line very shortly. Yeah, so we'll be getting on the phone line or Zoom very shortly to speak to John Paintsel, who played under Milovan Rajevac, so that he can tell us about the positives and what we would want to hear at this time, because really every Ghanaian's interest is to see the Black Stars break all of the barriers, qualify for the the next World Cup and go into the next AFCON and do wonders. I guess so, right?
Absolutely.
Well, messages are very much welcome as well. And now we will throw the focus on the teamwork and the independence, the relative independence of Milovan Rajevac. I remember very well that, once the confirmation was made, I sent a message to ex-Ghana international Prince Tego, who was on this show a couple of months ago. And he said to me, that's a wonderful choice. He's excited. He was actually rooting for Serbian technical expertise for this, for this position. And he was very, very exact and very plain about it. And once that appointment was made, he, quickly just went to tell me, look, this is the right decision because this man is a no-nonsense man. Well, let's switch the conversation to the man whose favorite jersey number is 4. He played in the Ghana Premier League. He played in various destinations in Europe as well, and featured for Ghana at the FIFA World Cup as well. He is now a coach and is contributing greatly to the next generation of footballers. John Paintsel, ex-Ghana international, my guest, one of my 3 guests here on the show today. John, good to have you on the show. It's been a while.
Yeah, Nat. Empower. Good afternoon to everyone.
Great to have you on the show. What jersey are you wearing, though? This looks like an AC Milan,
Oh, this is academy jersey. My training case. I just got in. Yeah.
Wow, great. John Paintsel Academy. Well, you have to make time to come over to the studio so we can discuss that.
Yes, please. I will do that.
Great. Good to have you on the show. Now, John, Ghanaians have one interest now, to see the Black Stars improve and perform well, irrespective of all the problems we have. So a man you've played under, is now in charge again of the Black Stars team. Tell me what your initial reaction was when the decision was made by the FA and it was confirmed that it was Milovan Rajevac returning to this position.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nat. First, when I heard Milo is coming over, and I said to myself, oh no, this is a wrong time for Milo to come in. Why I said that is Milo has been away for more than 10 years now, if I'm not. Look at the current situation we are in now. CK took the team, qualified the team for AFCON, and started the World Cup, qualified, played 2 matches, won 1. Lost 1 away, which still we have chance to go. But I would say when Milo came, our group, my generation, we were already made. It was a team that has been together from 2001 to 2006, playing our first World Cup in Germany. So when he came, the cohesion, the team building, the partner was already there. So things were easy for him.
Okay. We'll try to re-establish contact with John Paintsel there, so that we can continue for him to make that point. But he makes a very important point about timing of these appointments, where during his period and during that time it was it was a situation where there was good material, and that's a point that has been made across board.
He's absolutely right. I think I also made the same point when I started giving my presentation. And I strongly believe that the fact of the matter is that there are two different things. We are now comparing mangoes with oranges. Now, the other side of it is that during the time of Pencil, we all know that he had quality players. And I'm very happy he did mention that they already had that cohesion. And in football, cohesion matters a lot. This particular team that we are talking about now do not have that cohesion. They've not played for a long time. We're having different people having a call-up anytime we have a match to play. And we have just some few players that we can say have played for a long time and they know each other. So for me, what Milo is supposed to do now is more difficult than what he did previously.
Basic school has not seen.
All right. So we'll get back on the line and have a conversation with John Patel. John, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, very well, very well. So you were making a point about how relatively it will be more difficult to do the job that he did previously.
Yes. Because, like I said, our generation was already made since 2001. Myself, John Mensah, Sule Muntari, Makiesian, Derek Boateng, and then Razak Pimpong. Them we were together from the youth side before we also qualified to play the 2004 Olympic game when Stephen Appiah, Samuel Jan, all of them came in to form one strong team. It got the time we the players decide when to score and when to defend. So when Milo came, what he came with, it was a strong discipline because he's a disciplined man, like I said earlier. So that discipline thing that he came with, that also support the team. Though we were disciplined, but when he came, he told us that no one has a position. Players must fight for position. And he's not the coach that communicates with players all the time. And he's not the coach that you can predict him, like who is going to start or who is not going to start. I quite remember 2010, a day before the tournament, no one knew whether he's going to play or is going to be in the bench. You see, so when they gave the job to him, in the beginning, what I said to myself, that's a wrong timing for Milo. And then later on, I find out that Maxwell, Kunedu, and Otuado are going to be his right-hand man. Then I said, now I can rest because Maxwell has been around and he knows inside and outside the team, which is going to help Milo to achieve his goal. So yeah, Milo coming, it's good. First, it was tricky to me, but now that we have the two locals, Otu and then Maxwell, I believe that things will go well.
Now, let's also talk about the Ghanaian, that full Ghanaian interest. The president of Ghana at the time, stated that he would prefer that we have our own and we give them the opportunities. However, there's a lot of work to be done around that to create a good atmosphere. Where do we stand? I mean, you are now a coach as well. I mean, from what you see going on, where do we stand regarding how well this current generation of our coaches are preparing themselves for this big challenge of handling our national teams like the Black Stars? We saw, that era that Usubempa mentioned, that era of Cecil Jones, Atukwefio, Coach Ade, Herbert Addo, Osam Dodu, Afrani, and all of that. Now, how well are we positioning ourselves, individually, because we do not really see clear the blueprint of the FA, even though a few things have been said and a few plans have been, made vocal. Where is the positioning of the Ghanaian coach for these kinds of challenges in the future?
I think the local coaches, if you are talking about local coaches, they stand a big chance and they have a bigger picture because most of the coaches are doing well. And I did mention Maxwell or Dati Lamte has been here for a while. And then Coach Didi Draman, he's also outside, working in and outside. We have Laikin still coming, Gordon Tram is also in. Audu Isaka also is working so hard. And we still have our former national team coach, Kosi Appiah, is also around. We have many of these local coaches who are doing well. And don't forget that these coaches are also holding Lances A. We have more than 150 coaches having license A, CAF license A in Ghana here, which they need the opportunity to do well. But if you don't give them the chance to show themselves or showcase what they have, there's nothing that we can do, or the Ghanaians, the supporters, will also see. Like, for instance, the World Cup qualified, CK Akuno would have qualified anyway. But when the decision is coming, there's nothing anyone can do. So I will tell you that the local coaches are working very hard and very strong, that they are waiting for that opportunity to come. So we should not underrate the local coaches. We should give them opportunity, chances. Recently, there was a refresher coaching course, which was very good. I mean, to see the technical director, to see whether they are doing well or they are just holding the certificate. It's something that we have to look at it very, very well. And I believe that these coaches are the coaches that have played the game before, the national team to the highest level. They know everything, because what the foreign coaches are doing the same way, the same tactics, the same course that the locals are also doing. But for me, I don't care whether it's a foreign coach or local coach. Every coach is a coach. But the point I'm trying to make is we should give the local coaches also opportunity to bring what is inside them. Because I know most of the coaches are hiding and they are crying inside them that the opportunities are not coming, and they are also not voicing out. So for me, seeing Sika Akuno is a local coach, but he qualified the team to the Cup of Nations. And also the World Cup qualifier, he won his first match. And the second match, he went to South Africa without 60% or 50% of his key players. And he managed to hold the team to the last minute when they conceded the goal. So he was unlucky on that. That's why I said he could have qualified the team to the next World Cup anyway. But it is what it is. But the local coaches need to get the opportunity to bring what is inside them.
Okay, is that to say that you do not exactly agree with that assertion that we do not necessarily have the material at this time? Because you've said that during your period or during your era of playing, you had a lot of quality players, and we can all attest to that. And here you are also saying that we are going to qualify anyway. So then it means that with these players who are not exactly as big as you guys were back then, we can still qualify? Is that it?
Yeah, we can still qualify, because I know what Milo can do, and I know these local coaches also going to be there to support him and get the right. We have good materials, but we don't have a team. That's the point I'm trying to make. We need to have a team. We don't have a team. We have players, but we don't have a team. Because if the team, if we are talking about the team, that means we have to use the same team CK was using, that you said he wasn't performing. So if CK wasn't doing well, and you said CK should go, and the new coach coming to take over, the new coach is not coming to use the same material that CK was using. That one, everyone have to believe that. The coach have to go around and bring new players and form another team. So like our generation, like I said, we started from under 20, then the Olympic, before the national team, before joining Stephen Appiah group, and then we have the Stephen Appiah group, our group, Asamoah group, Prince Tego's group, the DIU group. So it was massive. So right now we have the DIU captain the team. But they are the generation that won 2009 under 20 World Cup in Egypt. So if we have IU captain the team, where are his colleagues? So if his colleagues are in, at least have 70% or 60% of them, Adiman Bedul, Harrison Afo, Inkum, if you have Rabiu Ayum, all of them are in. You don't have a problem, because you know at the end of the day, whether they are playing regular in their club or not, when they come, they know themselves, they know what they can put together. Because our time, for me, I will use myself as an example. When we first qualified to 2006 World Cup, I was playing in Israel, Maccabi Tel Aviv, Hapoel Tel Aviv. It wasn't that strong league. But every time I'm in the national team, my performance is different, because we know ourselves. We have experience of playing matches together, experience of playing tournaments together. So this is what I'm trying to make. But I believe that with these two local coaches, they will help Milo to achieve.
What about you? As you go, I'm sure that you have conversations with your colleagues, especially those who are now in coaching. Is there talk amongst you guys about interests in our national teams, especially considering the kind of narrative that we have now? Some of it that when the Ghanaian is in charge, his hands are tied and is not able to make full decisions for himself. What kinds of conversations go on amongst you and your colleague ex-players stroke coaches now, regarding the interest or otherwise in these positions because of the way or the circumstances that surround the job, especially when it is our own there and in charge?
Yeah, I think we have a coaches association platform where all of us are in. Sometimes we share ideas. One will bring a topic and we'll decide or discuss what this needs to be done or what that one to be done, whether it's good or not in terms of technicality and all. And also when one of us has the opportunity to coach the national team, we always support, we always watch the matches. And then some will come out with, okay, today the match was like this, was I should have done that, you should have done that. And we discuss that sometimes, but not all the time. But as in pushing ourselves to the national team, trying to get a chance and all. For me, I think we are not doing that. We are not doing that because mostly if a coach wants a job, the right thing to do is to send your CV to the FA. If you want to coach the national team, you have a strong CV, you send it. The technical director will look at it and then see if you qualify to have that opportunity in the national team. This is what we need to do. I don't know whether some of us are doing or not. Myself, I don't have the lances yet to go and say, this is my CV and I want the job here. But I'm working on it. Once I'm done, that's what the right thing to do is to present your CV to the FA or any club that you think you can coach. That will give you the right thing. But if you sit home and thinking that they will come for you, that won't happen. So for me, that's one thing that I think is not happening in our coaching area or in our platform. I haven't seen that anyone bringing that topic. But, you know, in every association, there's a seniors and then there's young ones. So you, the young ones, you should know when to talk and when not to. Like, respect comes first. So now that I have opportunity here, this is what I want to say, that local coaches should prove themselves and bring themselves up to earn that respect. Because if you have your CV and you put your CV there and they don't call you and they bring a coach that you think your CV is more higher than that coach, then you can challenge. So I think going forward, this is some of the things that we need to do. But I'm telling you, Nat, local coaches here have every right, have all what it takes to win trophies and qualification for Ghana.
I see. The bit too about the respect that we give to these coaches. There's always talk about amongst football fans about how from a distance they feel you the players. I mean, when you were playing, you the players gave better regard to foreigners than our own. What about that as well? Tell me about that. Is that the case?
In most cases, the coach philosophy, the coach behavior always reflects on the players. Because if the coach is not disciplined, the players will be indisciplined. Because if you are disciplined, you respect time, and then when you give a program, you follow your program. If you tell the players today you are doing 4-4-2 and you go to the field and you start doing 3-5-2, then the players won't take you serious. So there's a lot of things as a coach you need to know. I'll use myself as an example. When a coach called me to come and play for my national team, the first thing that comes to my mind is the coach wants my service. So I have to work hard for him, myself, and the nation. So you put the coach before you. You can't just go there and say, okay, you are here, you are playing. You didn't come by yourself. It was a coach who called you. So I always make sure that the coach that gave me that opportunity to play, I give him maximum respect and also follow his instructions. That is why I was able to play for 13 good years, because what I always do is I play to the coach's instructions. I don't do my own thing on the field. Fine, I was talented, but the basic things are on the field that the coach wants me to do. That's what I do. But I've never seen any player disrespecting any local coaches. But what I know is I've been hearing that players, especially foreign-based players, don't respect local coaches, which I disagree, because I myself have never done that before, which I always cherish coaches who give me opportunity to play. How can you let your coach down, a coach that gives you opportunity to play? You can't let him down. So the talk of players not respecting the local coaches is not true.
Well. Interesting thoughts there. Your messages are very much welcome. John Pencil, ex-Ghana international and now coach. Osei Usubempa, football historian and analyst, and also Coach Osman Seidu here with me in the studio here today on the Joy Sports Link on Joy997 FM with just about 20 minutes to wrap up the show. Well, let's also go around the table now and talk about, who you feel could carry the team and run away from the captain whose traditional role it is. Let me begin with you, Usubempa. Can you tell me who you've identified in these last set of qualifiers as the potential to probably become, the core who will, run along with the team? In as much as this is a team effort, there are individual players who sometimes have that quality. All of these away from maybe the captain, Dede Ayew himself. All right, we seem to be having some challenge with Osei Usubempa's internet connection. We'll get back to him in a bit. But coach, you also tell me. I mean, all this talk about. Okay, so I think his internet is back. Let's Usubempa, I was just asking about the possible faces that you've seen who can add to this new effort under Milo. In the last few match days that you've seen the Black Stars play, have you seen anyone who you feel could also represent the future of the Black Stars, just like back in 2008, we saw Andre Dede Ayew and we thought he was going to be part of the future of the Black Stars? Okay, a bit of a lull in the internet connection. Let's start with you.
Nat, I think we have some quality players like Coach John Pencil rightly indicated that we have quality players, but we do not have a team. You need cohesion to form a team. Now we have players like Kamaldeen Suleiman, we have players like Kudus, and if you go back again, these players are not just playing, they were prepared to play. Let's go back to their history and look at what happened when they were at Right to Dream. These players were prepared to play, and that's why they are playing. As a country, I think we should prepare to play, and we would get results.
Well, interesting stuff there. Would get on the WhatsApp platform in a bit. It's 055 11 11997. 055 11 11997. Well, it's Chelsea 0, Manchester City 1, and it was a Gabriel Jesus goal. And also Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 1. Bruno Fernandes missed a penalty at the last minute with Cristiano Ronaldo still on the pitch. Well, interesting turn of events. So Chelsea 0, Manchester City 1, and it was Gabriel Jesus who scored that goal. Aston Villa also leading Man U by 1-0. Well, we'll see about that. We'll update you on all of those other results as we go along. Let me come back to John Pencil. There's always talk about how our local league also feeds into the quality of our national teams to a large extent. What do you make of what you have seen so far, especially in the last year with our Ghana Premier League? You've been monitoring some of the games. You've been monitoring the kind of quality that we've been churning out.
Yeah, so far, the league has changed since last season. A season before last season, 2019-2020. Yeah, the league was fantastic, especially the officiating. Football, with that good officiating, you won't see the beauty of the game. Because we are now in the situation where if you are playing good as a away team, your chances of getting 3 points or 1 point is high. It's not like before when you are playing home and you know your team is not good. At the end of the day, you know you have your 3 points already. It's not like that anymore. So these things have changed the Ghana League, which sees a lot of new teams or young teams beating the big ones, going away, taking points or 3 points, and then performing throughout the season. So I would think the Ghana League is on the right direction now. If you can continue like this, I think the sky will be the limit for Ghana.
Yeah, coach.
One thing that has also really changed has to do with our tactical and technical team. So I want to applaud the Ghana Football Association on this. There have been some calculated attempts to improve on the quality of our technical teams in the country. So, for instance, we have the gentleman who was coaching 11 Wonders, Ignatius. We have Boedu, the coach of Akato Folk. We have, I can just mention them, all those coaches were coaches that are successful today because there was a calculated attempt to take them through some quality form of training. So I think we should do more of that. If I watch a Premiership match today, I enjoy it because I can see a lot of tactics in the game, unlike before.
Well, would also now activate the phone line so that you can join us with your thoughts. 0302-216-541, 0302-216-541. Join us with your thoughts and let's also have this conversation together. John, let's also look across, around the African continent, and there's been a lot. Algeria are looking very, very good, and they will definitely be a force to reckon with as we go into the next Africa Cup of Nations, considering the fact that they are also defending champions and have recorded a win-win streak of over 25 to 27 matches, and it's looking pretty good. How would you assess the kind of quality that is available on the African continent across board, generally? I mean, you've seen several generations, at least in the last 20 years. Tell me about the kind of quality you see and who you see dominating eventually when we start off the AFCON in January next year.
Thank you, Nat. When it comes to Cup of Nations, it's always difficult to predict a team that will be out for. And for me, I've seen many surprises pulling up anytime we go to Cup of Nations or anytime there's a Cup of Nations. You see a team from nowhere will come and dominate. Now we've seen that Algerians are very, very threat. They are the defending champions. But it will surprise you that there's a team that's preparing somewhere and will come and take surprise. Why? Because African football, it's very, very tough. For me, I always said Cup of Nations is more difficult to play than the World Cup. Because Nations Cup is, I would say, that dog eat dog. The aggression, the speed, the moment, everything is high tempo. So there's no time to joke. And for me, I can't predict and say, watch this team or watch that team. But if Ghana put our things together with the materials that we have, if we can form a strong team, Ghana will be the one to watch.
Coach, the quality, the strength of these other teams as we go into the next Africa Cup of Nations.
Yeah, I think that like I rightly said the last time I was here, our match against Ethiopia, I mean, hitherto would have thought that Ghana would just walk over teams like Ethiopia. Things have changed, and we are playing scientific football now. We've moved from the artistic way of doing things to more scientific in football, and everybody is really adopting to play as such. So to me, what is more important is that we just need to prepare and make sure we are the best. You need to beat every team to be able to take the trophy. So in terms of preparation and in terms of standard, a lot of things have changed, and it will continue to change in this fast-moving world.
0302 216 541 0302 216 541. John, you had a lot of time under Coach Milovan Rajvac, and I want you to tell me of some of the biggest memories that you have with him as a player, the player to coach relationship.
Yeah, Milo. Sometimes he's cold, sometimes he's hot. Like I said, you can never predict Milo.
Okay.
You never see Milo being angry, but he does things that looks more than he's upset or angry. And I quite remember before our first match, 2010 World Cup against Serbia. Even the very day in the morning, nobody could tell who starting or who is going to be in the bench.
I see.
Then you see we the players will be going to room to ask, are you playing? Are you playing? Ubobi, and now Ubobi, on Kavinchiro. You see? So he makes sure that we the players start our mind that whoever have the chance, you don't let it go. You take your chances and then you continue from there. You make things difficult for you before you get the position yourself. He will make it hard for you. He won't make it easy at all. Like I said, he's very disciplined and he's not a coach that you can predict. And when he makes decision, he don't want anybody to drive it. When he say one, it's one. It's finished. And he don't talk much. Sometimes he will talk to you with his eyes. But if you are not clever enough, you understand what he's trying to say. Then you fall into his trap. So for me, I will advise the players that Milo coming, he like youngsters. He love youngsters and then a little experienced players. So and also like players who always play from their heart, who always want to die for the team. This is Milo. So players should try and get to know Milo, because as a player you must know your coach. If you don't get to know your coach, you will have a problem. Because a coach, first thing he will do is to know his players, which within a few weeks or a few days, you'll be able to know everybody, what everyone can do. So when he knows you, like Kwabna can do letter A, and Kwabna refuse to do letter A, you will know. Then you will have a problem with him. So this is Milo.
Wow. Interesting. 0302 216 541. 0302 216 541. Get through to us and let us also hear what your thoughts are. Just say Dear Milo and tell him what you want him to do for you as Black Stars coach. Well, we'll be wrapping up the conversation very shortly, and we'll be getting into your messages as well. But let me just wrap up with our friends who are joining us virtually. Beginning with you, John. You are now watching the Black Stars from afar. A lot has happened in the last few months and the last few weeks. But your final thoughts as we wrap up this conversation about the way forward for Ghana's Black Stars.
Yeah, the way forward is at least we all need to look forward for the new coaches who are coming, give them support, and also try to accept the new players, the new names, the new face. Doing that, I think that will help us. But when we start pointing fingers, why the coach called this one, he didn't call this one, then we will have a problem, because it will play impact in the players. So what the players need is the confidence and then a goodwill, so that they can work and then push the nation like we did. So the way forward is simple: come together, support the team with one love, one Ghana, that we can achieve it.
John Peito, thank you so much. It's been such a wonderful time with you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
John Peito is an ex-Ghana international who played under Coach Milovan Rajvac. Let me also have a conversation with, Osei Owusu-Bempah. Have his final thoughts as well. Osei, now we're towing a new path. Trying to renew the energy within the Black Stars team. what will be your final words on our way forward, how we should get ourselves ready? John Pencil says he feels that we can still qualify, just like you said. I mean, you are still very, very optimistic based on the factors that you've outlined.
I think the FA must remain focused and supportive of the new coach, just as they've done in the past with almost all the coaches. The players must remain disciplined. The disciplinary aspect does not just apply to the players, but also with respect to the Black Stars Management Committee. I think the committee is quite weak as it's currently composed or constituted. I also would like to appeal to the politicians to stay away from football. I mean, if you are in political party colours, let that be different from the national team colours. The Black Stars is never an NP or NDC, PNC or whichever party. For us to be able to make headway in our qualification journey, we should have everybody on board. Ghanaians must have that confidence and respect, the love for the Black Stars to support them in every journey. And that will only come when we don't hear comments such as the ones made by Taye and Co. The national team's qualification and the fortune of the national team must be a national event, a national project, and not a political party project. Once the politicians begin to come in, it alienates a lot of people who do not do that political tradition and political party lines, and that is very dangerous for the cause of the Black Stars. I was young to watch 1978 African Cup of Nations. Even in the heat of the Unigolf agitations and stuff, when General Champions, popular regime and stuff, Ghanaians were solidly united for the Black Stars. That's not what we are seeing right now. If we're able to get that, I'm sure with the new coach coming in, supposed to do in terms of strengthening the quality of the Black Stars Management Committee, I'm sure we'll be able to make a head. Remember, qualification to the are in South Africa and Ethiopia. We have to move to the next stage where the creme de la creme comes in. At the stage, remember, where in 2013 we demolished Egypt in Kumasi. So that's where we need to look at. And it's a step-by-step thing, one game at a time. We have Zimbabwe to play home and away. I'm sure we'll be able to get 6 points necessary and then take it from there. Ghana will surely make it out of this group with just a little bit of hard work and also some form of luck and national support.
Okay. Thank you very much, Osei Usubempa. Always a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much for your time here on the show today.
It's a pleasure joining you, Nat.
Thank you. All right. Messages are pretty simple and straightforward. They say, look, keep the focus, make sure that we are towing a specific path. And from your end, you're saying, let's have a blueprint and let's follow it to the letter.
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. And we also want to appreciate that we cannot just have a blueprint just like that. So we need to tackle the current situation, which is a stopgap measure that they've taken, by bringing Milo. Let's support him, but let us have a bigger picture and work towards it.
Well, interesting thoughts shared here on the Joy Sports link on Joy997FM. And, full-time, Aston Villa beating Manchester United by 1-0. Surely going to spark a whole set of conversations amongst the Manchester United fans in the coming week. Ahead of the already I see a lot of messages on social media indicating that as well. So so there we go. I have loads and loads of messages. Let's quickly get into them in our final lap of the show. Okay, dear Milovan Raivat, warm welcome to you and the Black Stars. You have been missed so much. I've always kept wondering why you are not the coach who has been in charge of the Ghana Black Stars for the last 10 to 11 years. You should have. You were gritty, you were tactical, strategic, competent, calm, focused, and result-oriented. As you have arrived, stay for 10 years more. This is from Jerry in Awoshi. Jerry, thank you very much for your message. Let's get back to another one. Now, there's this one that is from William Sisso. It says, this coach will suffer because there's a group where no players in the Black Stars who have known each other and their movements very well are playing. Okay, John Painter is extremely right, Massa. It's extremely right, Master. The coach go tire. Okay, this is from William Sissel. Some more messages as we wrap it up here on the show. And okay, so dear Milovan, I know your second coming back is not going to be comeback. It's not going to be easy as you had your first appointment as Black Stars coach. My reason is that some of these foreign players you have at hand are not actively playing soccer in their various clubs. Try and blend the local players with the active foreign ones, and I wish you well. Akwaba Milovan. This is from Sam Bannerman in the U.S. Sam Bannerman sending that message there. Let's do one or two more before we wrap it up here on the Joy Sports link. Now, let's ask this one. This is from Joseph in Committee 9 in Tema. Great discussion. My question is, how many players from the under-20 who won the World Cup in 2009 in Egypt and why? Okay, I'm not really getting this question properly. And our time is also up as well. So we're sure going to do this some other time. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for the messages and all of that. Unfortunately, we were unable to read all of them for you, but I trust that you've had a wonderful show. The action continues here on Joy 99.7 FM immediately after the Joy headline news at 2 with Daryl Kwao. My man and your man, George Ni Amakwe, will bring you a showbiz A to Z. So, thanks to all of my guests, Coach Osman, John Paintsel, and Osei Owusu-Bempah. I'll be back next week with another Joy Sports link. In the meantime, you stay well. Tomorrow, we'll bring you the Joy Sports Arena right here on this channel. Thanks to the whole production team. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for sport.
Joy headline news at 2 coming up. Ghana Police Service to massively deploy officers to strategic areas in the capital as it steps up efforts to improve on security and combat